Hello student, in this video lecture we are going to discuss about the pharynx. As you know that pharynx is a part of respiratory system. It is helps into the respiration, but also it is provide a pathway, a pathway or communication in the GI system also. So, for the descriptive purpose, the pharynx may be divided into three parts: nasopharynx, oropharynx, or hypopharynx. Your pharynx having the length of 13 centimeter. You just correct in your notes. जहाँ पे हमने 5 सेंटीमीटर लिखा है नोट्स में वहाँ थोड़ा करेक्ट कर लें. That is 5 inch. Okay, near about 13 centimeter. Okay, so first we are going to discuss about the nasopharynx. The uppermost portion here in the diagram you can see the uppermost portion is known as nasopharynx. Nasopharynx is extended from the base of skull up to the soft palate. ठीक है? Soft palate is the posterior part of oral cavity, posterior superior part of oral cavity. Nasopharynx contains the tonsils, which are the lymphoid tissue. These are also known as pharyngeal tonsils or adenoids. Your nasopharynx contains the auditory tube, which is also known as the Eoschachian tube. Eoschachian tube is a connection from the middle ear to the pharynx. Okay, it opens into the nasopharynx. These are the tubes that comes from the middle ear that we will discuss later in the spatial senses. When we are studying the ear, that time we are discussing about the Eoschachian tube or auditory tube. The anterior aspect of the nasopharynx communicates through the conchia with the nasal cavity. Okay, यहाँ से जो nasopharynx का anterior portion होता है that directly connect with the nasal conchia, that we will discuss in the later class about the nasal cavity. Here are the three nasal conchleas, first superior nasal conchlea, middle nasal conchlea and inferior nasal conchlea. So your nasopharynx is connected with the nasal cavity at the site of nasal conchlea. On the lateral wall of the pharyngeal opening of the auditory tube, somewhat triangular in shape and bounded behind by a prim prominence, the Turner's, these are called as cushions. Cushions causes by the middle end of the cartilage. It is a folded like structure that which elevates the mucous membrane of pharynx. Two folds arise from the cartilaginous opening. It is called the pharyngeal tuberculins or tonsor tuberculins. It is a fold of mucous membrane. Okay. Some other folds are there. This such like that glossial fold, glossial mucus fold, lateral villi, Turnus villi. These are the some folds which having the smaller folds in front of the nasal nasopharynx. Okay, these does not have some special type of functions. Later we are discussing about, after the nasopharynx we are discussing about oropharynx. Oropharynx is the part of pharynx that having the that participate into the both respiratory and digestive system. It participate in both the process, in the physiology of digestion and the respiration. Oropharynx lies behind the oral cavity, extended from the vulva, that is the part of soft palate, at the level of hyoid bone. It is extended up to the soft palate to larynx from hairs. Okay, the anterior wall consists of the base of the tongue and the epiglottis. The anterior wall consists of the base of the tongue and epiglottis volvulence. It is a depression just behind the root of the tongue between the folds of the throat. The lateral wall is made up of the tonsillar pillars, tonsillar fossa. The superior wall consists of the inferior surface of soft palate and the vulva. Because both food and air passes through the pharynx, a flap of connective tissue called epiglottis close over the glottis when food swallow on and prevent aspiration. जब आप फूड इनटेक करते हैं तो द फेरिंग्स जो है दैट प्रिवेंट द entry of food into the respiratory system. Oropharynx having the epiglottis part, here you can see that it is the epiglottis. It is the epiglottis that closes the respiratory system, that prevents that provide a pathway to the food that directly goes into the esophagus, not into the respiratory pathway. The oropharynx is lined by non-keratinized squamous stratified epithelium, which we are discussing in the epithelium tissue. These are known that wall of the oropharynx is made up by non-keratinized squamous stratified epithelium. Next we are going to discuss about the laryngopharynx. Laryngopharynx is the inferior portion. It is also called the hypopharynx. It is also called the hypopharynx. Here it is. It lies inferior to the epiglottis, and extended to the location where the common pathway divides into the respiratory and the digestive. Respiratory part कौन सा होता है? Laryngeal part. और डाइजेस्टिव पार्ट कौन सा होता है? ईसोफेजियल पार्ट. जहाँ से दोनों पाथवे अलग होते हैं वहाँ तक कौन सा पार्ट होता है? लैरिंगोफेरिंग्स, विच इज़ डायरेक्टली कनेक्ट विद द लैरिंग्स. द ईसोफेगस कंडक्ट फूड एंड फ्लूइड टू द स्टमक. Air enters the larynx anteriorly. During swallowing, food has the right of way and air passes temporarily stopped. When you are taking the food, your air passes will be temporarily closed by the epiglottis. By the help of glottis, the food does not enter into the respiratory tract and provide a right way to the food. That food goes into the esophagus. So it is all about the pharynx. If you have any doubt, you just refer your notes and you can also discuss with me. Thank you, class. Thank you.